I took the night shift because it paid more. That's it. No mystery. No bravery. Just money. I was working days at a logistics company, barely scraping by, when my supervisor mentioned an opening for overnight monitoring at a closed municipal building. Government-owned. Decommissioned. Waiting to be repurposed. They needed someone to keep an eye on things. No patrols. No heavy lifting. Just cameras, logs, and silence. The pay was higher because, according to him, most people don't last. I assumed that meant boredom. I was wrong. The building used to be a records archive. Decades of paperwork, files nobody had touched since before everything went digital. Most of it had already been removed, but the structure remained. Concrete halls. Metal doors. Low ceilings that made sound travel farther than it should. On my first night, the day supervisor handed me a badge, a ring of keys, and a laminated sheet titled Overnight Protocols. He told me to read it carefully. Then he paused. And added, especially the last few. The booth was inside the building, not outside. A small office near the main entrance with cameras, monitors, a heater that barely worked, and a desk bolted to the floor. Once the doors locked at 9 p.m., I was alone. No one else in the building. No cleaning crew. No late-night admins. Just me. I skimmed the rules around 10 p.m. mostly normal stuff. Log motion alerts, do not leave the booth between 1 o'clock to 4 a.m., ignore external noises unless alarms triggered. Then I reached rule number 6. If the door at the end of Hall C appears after 2:17 a.m., do not acknowledge it. I reread it. Then checked the building map pinned to the wall. There was no Hall C. Only Hall A and Hall B. Both short. Both dead ends. I figured it was outdated paperwork. Old building, old rules. I didn't think about it again. The first few nights were uneventful. Painfully quiet. The kind of quiet where your own breathing feels loud. I brought coffee. Podcasts. Anything to stay awake. The cameras showed empty halls, locked doors, dust drifting through motion sensors like ghosts that forgot how to scare people. Then came the fourth night. At exactly 2:17 a.m. camera 3 flickered. That camera wasn't even active. It was labeled unused, storage wing. I leaned forward. The feed stabilized. And there it was. A hallway. Longer than any hallway in the building. Too long. Gray walls. No markings. One flickering light at the far end. And a door. Standing alone. My first thought was that the camera had been mislabeled. My second was that this hallway didn't match the building layout at all. I pulled up the map again. There was no storage wing that long. No extension. No dead-end corridor with a single door. I checked the timestamp. 2:17 a.m. I felt a tightness in my chest I couldn't explain. That's when I remembered rule number 6. I told myself it was a glitch. Old wiring. Old cameras. A recorded loop leading into the feed. I didn't log it. I didn't call anyone. I just watched. The door didn't move. The hallway didn't change. At 2:46 a.m., the feed cut out. By morning, camera 3 showed nothing again. Just a blank wall. I didn't mention it to the supervisor. I needed the job. But the next night, I kept one eye on the clock. 2:16 a.m. 2:17. Camera 3 turned on by itself. Same hallway. Same door. Closer this time. The camera angle had shifted. As if something wanted me to see more detail. The door was metal. No handle. No hinges I could see. Just a seam. Like it wasn't meant to be opened from the side. I noticed something new. Scratches. Long, vertical marks carved into the door's surface. Deep. Uneven. As if something had tried to pull its way through. I felt cold, even with the heater running. I reached for the rule sheet again. Rule number 6 continued in smaller text beneath it. Do not approach. Do not document. Do not check the schedule. If you hear knocking, stay seated. My mouth went dry. At 2:31 a.m., the knocking started. Not on the booth door. Not on the main entrance. From the hallway feed. 3 slow knocks. Metal on metal. Each one echoed longer than it should have. I muted the audio. I don't know why. Instinct. The camera zoomed in by itself. The scratches on the door were fresh now. Shiny. Like they'd just been made. I didn't sleep that day. I told myself I'd quit. But when night came, I went back. Bills don't care about fear. The third night was worse. At 2:17 a.m., the hallway appeared again. But the door was open. Just slightly. Enough to show darkness behind it. Not shadow. Not empty space. Darkness. The kind that absorbs light. The kind your eyes refuse to adjust to. I heard breathing through the speakers. Slow. Wet. Patient. I stood up without realizing it. Every rule screamed in my head. Stay seated. Do not acknowledge. But the sound felt close. Too close. Then the radio on my desk turned on. I hadn't touched it. Static filled the booth. Then a voice. Low. Calm. Familiar. Your shift isn't over yet. I don't remember sitting back down. I just remember the door on the screen opening wider. Something moved behind it. Not stepping out. Just leaning. Like it was listening. The radio crackled again. Schedules change. At 2:48 a.m., every other camera went dark. Only Hall C remained. The door stopped moving. The breathing stopped. Then the feed cut out. I quit the next morning. Didn't finish the week. Didn't argue about pay. I handed in my badge and left. A month later, curiosity got the better of me. I drove past the building in daylight. The structure was still there. But smaller. Like part of it had been removed. I checked public records. There was never a Hall C. Never a storage wing. But there was a note buried in old maintenance logs. Unscheduled access point sealed, reappears intermittently. I still wake up at night sometimes. 2:17 a.m. exactly. I don't hear knocking. I don't see doors. But I feel like something is waiting. For another schedule. For another shift. For someone else to notice the door that was never supposed to be there.